everyone, welcome along to the season finale of the very first season here on the Chelsea Career Mode series. My name is Ash, or Brummer18, whichever you prefer, and today we have a massive episode with the finale of the first season. We have a Champions League final against PSG here for you. We also have the final game of the Premier League season, which we'll talk about a little bit more in depth shortly, and it is going to be a massive episode. I want to let you all know now that we will be going into Season 2, where we hope to try and push on and progress, so really hope that you guys are going to join me for that as well, as I think we've got a really exciting one coming up. Now, before we get into this game and the final game of the season against Tottenham, I'll quickly want to say to you guys, if you haven't done so already, please go and check out my new video games podcast, me and my pal, who is also called Ash, currently doing it. We've got 2 episodes out as of recording this, one where we talk about our top 5 video games, and one where we talk about the most anticipated games upcoming releases. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. The links are all down below in the description, so please do go and check that out. And also have a look at my Patreon, lots of great perks and rewards on there, including my tactics package, exclusive tactics videos, behind the scenes videos, and all that good stuff. Right then, first things first, let's talk about what we have going for us in the Premier League. So as you can see, we are 3 points off Liverpool with 1 game to go. However, because of the goal difference, they're currently 16 goals ahead. It's unfortunate that we won't be able to kind of catch them up. It's going to be extremely unlikely. They also have Nottingham Forest, who, if we have a look at the Premier League table, are very close to the relegation zone. They've managed to avoid it, but they haven't had the best of seasons in terms of the grand picture. So as a result, it's looking unlikely that we're going to win the league. I'd hoped it would be a bit closer for the finale. I'd hoped that despite the fact we've gone and won every game, which we'll talk about very shortly, that we would be able to kind of push them right until the death, but they've also won every game. Despite that though, we are still going to play the final game of the season against Tottenham. I think it'll be a good way to kind of round off the season. We're obviously going to have that Champions League game, and then we'll talk about kind of transfer window. We'll start to make some early signings, get them through the door as we approach the end of the season. So what about this game against Tottenham then? Well, we have made a few changes for it, as you can see, and any eagle-eyed viewers will immediately notice that we have a debut to a brand new youth academy product. That's Dennis Miller. He's currently 18 years old, from the USA. He's either a left back or a centre back. We're personally looking to play him in that kind of left central back role, and I think that's really going to be perfect for him. He's a little bit on the smaller side, 5'10", which is why I think he'll be better as a wide centre-back as opposed to kind of the central defender. But he's one that we really like the look of, so hopefully we can kind of give him his debut today. It's a massive game, but there's not too much riding on it, which is why I think it's a perfect time to kind of introduce him in that last game of the season. Also a game to Charlie Webster as well. He's been filtered in here and there. You guys haven't really seen that, but I have been playing him here and there, particularly in the cup games as well. So we'll see what he's got today. Elsewhere, it's worth bearing in mind that Armando Broja actually broke his toe in one of the recent games. He did score, but then he got injured and he's out for 3 months. So he misses the rest of the season, and it could even sneak into the start of next season as well. So that's a real disappointment. He would have been playing today in what is otherwise a team that is very much changed. You know, we've got that Champions League final to think of later in the week, so I have decided to make a few changes. The likes of Sterling, Conte, Koulibaly, Reece James, etc. These guys are really getting a rest if we can help that, and we'll give some opportunities to some of the other guys down below. It's also worth noting that according to the board objectives, they kind of wanted me to win like everything, which obviously was unrealistic. We spoke about that at the start of the season. Hopefully that doesn't backfire, because, you know, ultimately that's not what we should be aiming for. And hopefully they don't sack me as a result. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Someone's been commenting on my videos saying that the lineups are no longer being shown in the pre-match build-up, but it's not something I've noticed. It's very strange. As you can see here, we've got the lineups fine. So if you're watching, you may have to check something with your game. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Harry Kane. He does so well, and he sends it through to Son as well. And there's an opportunity here for Tottenham. Edouard Mendy comes out and makes a fantastic save. Son just hesitates a little bit, and he gives the kind of advantage to Edouard Mendy, who really does step up. We're going to bring on Hakim Ziyech or Mason Mount. We're also going to switch Gallagher and Ziyech around to kind of invert them, get them onto their stronger feet. Oh, Chalobah messes up there a little bit. Kulusevski will go for goal. Mendy saves yet again. Oh, Son gets space. It's a good pass from Kane. Kulusevski, another save from Mendy. He's keeping us in the game at the moment. We've just got to wake up a little bit. Looking for an overlapping run of Cucurella. Give and go with Gallagher. Back to Aubameyang. Cuts onto his right. That's lovely play. Oh, that was really nice up until that finish. So we got a corner. This will be the last kick of the game. The last chance of the game. Kovacic will come over to take. Going to whip that one in. Aubameyang's on the end of it. And there's the goal. There is the goal. Last kick of the game that is going to be. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the end of the Kovacic cross. Graham Potter sprinting up the touchline. And there is the winner in this London derby. What a fantastic well-worked set piece. Aubameyang just battling with the defender to get on the end of that. It takes a nick off someone. Maybe the goalkeeper gets it. Let's have a look here. He saves it and the goalkeeper just doesn't have enough strength in his hands to parry it away. Aubameyang battling with Bentancur gets on the end of that. And somehow the ball sneaks in. What a fantastic moment to round off the season. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with his 21st goal of the Premier League season. And what a brilliant way to end the season. As we said, last kick. Fantastic. Really, really nice stuff. Really good indeed. Definitely a fan of those in-swinging corners as opposed to the out-swing corners. I think they do work better on this game. Thank you as well to Edouard Mendy, who really came up big in that game. Had a few good saves to keep us in the game and gave us the platform to go on late on and steal that winner. What a fantastic way to end the season that is. So this is how the Premier League table finally looks then. We did push Liverpool and Man City all the way. 3 points off the champions Liverpool in the end, who, you know, really just weren't going to be stopped. 89 goals for and only 39 against. They beat Forest 3-1 on the final game of the season. But that is a really positive season for us in terms of the Premier League, to finish in the top four, finish second and push them all the way. You know, the question is going to be, can we push on next season and really take it all the way? And so it all comes down to this. This determines how successful our season really is. If we can get the third Champions League trophy in the history of Chelsea Football Club, that will be absolutely enormous. I'm sure you guys are ready to see the lineup. So this is how we are looking. As you can see, sticking with the formation as we have done for the majority of the season. The big guns come back into it. Conte, Koulibaly, Sterling, Reece James, etc. Those guys return. Chilwell is out onto the left back, and Cucurella will drop into centre back. I've opted for him over Trevor Chalobah, as I just think it would be better to have someone a little bit faster, a little bit more suited to marking those wingers. We've got to really kind of man up against Mbappe, Neymar and Messi. So I think that's probably the best course of action. Also need to remember to make Koulibaly captain as well. That would be handy. Looking at their team, obviously, just so many stars. It is just absolutely littered with an embarrassment of riches, really. A strange formation, a little bit, I'll be honest, but I think it could actually suit them with that front three, give them a little bit more protection with the 5 back as well. Very fast defence, that's something we are going to have to kind of cope with. The central midfield is where I think we can have some success. They're going to be a little bit outnumbered there. A little bit similar to kind of what we just faced against Spurs, really, with their formation. So, this is it then. Here we are, ready for the final. I have to admit, I haven't yet played in this stadium. I don't know whose stadium it is. I didn't actually see which name it was, but it looks nice. It looks like something different. This is going to be very exciting. If memory serves me right, I think the final's in Istanbul this year. So it's got to be one of the stadiums. It could be like Istanbul Başakşehir Stadium, maybe. Here we go then. What a big game. What a big game in store. That mascot's absolutely loving life. Look at him. Look at him. And there is the prize. The Champions League trophy. It is a big, big game. Very tough. Very interesting that Gianluigi Donnarumma is on the bench. They prefer Keylor Navas. That is a strange one in itself. Other than that, not too many mad changes. Matip as well. They've signed Joel Matip. Okay. And here we are then. The manager and sporting director of PSG will get us underway with kickoff. And here we go. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Messi out to Mendes on this left-hand side. He's going to go onto his left. He'll have a shot. And there's the first shot of the game in the 24th minute. It's a comfortable one for Edouard Mendy to claim. Need someone to close him down. Mbappe gets that ball out wide. Oh, that was an opportunity. It was on the stroke of half-time. And Mbappe should have done better there. He has to hit the target. So a couple of opportunities for PSG. None for me. As you can see, they are the better team. They're having the better of the ball. It has been a tentative start from me, really. Now, I am going to make a couple of tactical tweaks because it's not working as it stands. I think we're having a lot of success in the central areas where we can outnumber their midfield. But when it gets to the final third, they're very much kind of crowding us out. So as a result, what we're going to do is we're going to get Sterling to drift wide. He can capitalise on Messi, who isn't tracking back as much. We're going to get Mount on free roam, and hoping what I'm looking for is for him to drop into them pockets of space a bit more, support those two central midfielders, and really give us that numerical advantage. And hopefully we can really kind of see a little bit from there. Hakimi now comes out wide. He's got options in the box. Messi. We've got to limit that pass off to Mbappe. We've done that quite well, but there's another opportunity. Carlos Soler. And Mendy makes a bit of a save for the cameras. He probably could have held on to that one. It's a corner. Chilwell back into Sterling. That's really nice play. Can he find that ball to Mason Mount? He can. Oh, it's a good save from Navas. Doesn't get the shot away in time. That was a really good opportunity. Our first of the game. Neymar's driving forward. Looks to whip it in. Oh, another save. So we've got two changes coming. Jorginho is going to come off. Kovacic will come on to replace him. We're getting a little bit bossed around in midfield. I need more energy in there. And with that energy, we're also going to get Conor Gallagher to come on for Mason Mount as well. So Messi's going to take this one short. Goes to Verratti. We'd rather Verratti on the ball than Messi, that's for sure. Can Chilwell deal with that? Oh, only so far. Marquinhos on the end of it. He's not offside. Someone's playing him on. And that is a killer. 73rd minute. PSG go 1-0 up. That's a really disappointing way to concede from the set piece. Chilwell's clearance only goes so far. Aubameyang doesn't get onto it in time ahead of Fabian Ruiz. And Marquinhos, who's there, is just able to tap it in. I just want a quick look to find out who was playing him on side here, because that is very disappointing indeed. If we have a look here on broadcast. Oh, that's really tough. It could be Reece James. It's probably Reece James playing him on. That's so close as well. So close. Just doesn't get out in time. I can't blame him for that. But that's a killer. And with that in mind, we're now going to switch to our attacking game plan as well. Just a constant pressing tactic. In fact, we're going to push the depth up even further, up to 100. And we're really going to try and go for this now. Oh, Reece James, that's a fantastic interception. And there's an opportunity now for Gallagher to drive into this space as they have committed forward. They're going to try and mark Aubameyang in the middle. Gallagher driving forward now. He's going to try and nod it in. Sterling, back to Gallagher. Oh, dear me. That was a brilliant opportunity and he's got to hit the target. He has to hit the target from there. Conte, that's a really good interception. Kovacic through to Sterling. There's a ball onto Reece James, but Sterling can't get it through to him. Conte. Gallagher. Looking for that overlapping run of Reece James, and he's got it as well. There's someone at the back post. It's Pierre Aubameyang. Oh, it's hit the top of the net. That's another good opportunity. Really nice one from Fofana. Gallagher through to Conte. Oh, lovely. Back to Gallagher. That is fantastic play. Gallagher, he's going to look to cut it in. Sterling's there. It's saved from Navas. And it almost rolls in. Oh. One header. One more chance. Aubameyang tries to loop it through. Reece James is on. He's made a fantastic run. He stayed at the pitch. He needs a bit of support. He's not got it. Oh, he gets fouled. Oh, he's not going to give it. It's going to be full time. Oh, no way. Can't believe it. I cannot believe it. So close. The last 15 minutes, we created so many chances. and we really should have put one of them away. We really should have. You know, I had a feeling we were going to win this game, to be honest. I really did coming into it. I felt fairly confident, despite how tough of a game it is against PSG. And they get their first Champions League title. I really, really can't believe that one. It's a tough one to take. It really is. Again, we had chances. First half we were poor, but second half we livened up, particularly when, you know, we kind of changed the tactics around a little bit and it was working. Just couldn't score. Just couldn't score. I'd like to have a look at the replay of that Reece James bit as well. Did he get fouled for the penalty? I would like to see that. Probably clutching at straws there as we see PSG Marquinhos lift the Champions League trophy. But it is a really tough pill to swallow, that one is. It has to be said. And so disappointed. So as you can see on the whole, you know, PSG deserved the win, and there is definitely no denying that. They were the better team. I just feel like we, particularly towards the end of the game, had some really kind of clear-cut chances that deserved goals. So that's why it is a little bit more bitter to take. So if we have a look back at the season as a whole, it's been not a bad season by any means. I think a little bit disappointing. At the start of the season, I did say that, you know, I wanted a top four, naturally, which we got, and some. So Premier League-wise, we performed very well indeed. But I also said that we wanted a domestic trophy, at least one. You know, that we came short. We lost to Man United in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. They went on to win. You know, we lost to Tottenham as well in the League Cup. They went on to win that. So, you know, ultimately we lost to the winners both times, and, you know, really felt like that we could go on and win had we won those games. Naturally, we also had the Champions League. It's tough to kind of ever target to win the Champions League because ultimately it's just so tough, isn't it? It's so competitive, so hard, but, you know, we come so close, but it's just not quite enough. So to come out of the season with no silverware is a little bit disappointing. I want to quickly take a look at the players and have a quick look at their season, see kind of who performed well, who didn't. You know, Edouard Mendy, we got a lot of criticism for picking Mendy over Kepa. Why, I don't know. I'm still getting it to this day. But, you know, he's been superb. Absolutely superb. Kept us in a lot of games in the Champions League final, made a lot of saves. And, you know, he's been really good. So, you know, we're just going to go with him till the end, really. You know, Kepa is looking to move on. We're looking to move him on. You know, we're going to bring Gabriel Slonina in as the kind of backup. We're going to put him into the cup games, etc. Some of the Champions League games maybe. So, you know, ultimately that's going to be our plan going forward in goal. We had some really consistent performances at the back. The one I want to mention is Wesley Fofana, who has been absolutely immense. Really, really good. You wouldn't have seen much of him from the highlights, but he has been superb. Really, really superb. And he's definitely kind of at the focal point of this defence going forward. The likes of Koulibaly, Trevor Chalobah getting a lot of game time. Those guys played really well. On top of that, we also had the likes of Ben Chilwell. We had the likes of Cucurella and Chilwell, who rotated but were mainstays, really. Those guys played really good. Dennis Miller, of course, comes in, gets his debut. He only got a 6.3 match rating. I'm not sure why. I thought he played well. I really did think he played well against Tottenham. So that one's a strange one. We're going to keep an eye on him, keep developing and rotating him into the side. That's going to be exciting. With a central midfield, very, very solid. You know, there weren't too many changes within the central midfield role. Kante, at 32 years of age, still growing, played unbelievably all season. He was really, really good, as was Jorginho. He played very well. Got to say, really surprised he played very well indeed. Again, though, those guys 32 and 31, they're not the long-term solution. So we may start thinking about kind of getting in long-term replacements for them. But they played really well. So at the moment, you know, I don't want to change too much of a good thing. We've got the likes of Kovacic as well. Played really well. We're going to keep him around. Charlie Webster got some game time here and there. Now, I think the best thing for him is a low move for next season, so we'll see how that one goes. Connor G, of course, are really trying to kind of push out this season. I made a big thing about him in this series. 6 goals, 7 assists. I do want him now, next season, to push on. I want him double figures for both, because that's the one area that he really kind of should be contributing in. So that's what we're looking for. Naturally, he has played in less games than the likes of Sterling, etc. So, you know, you will see a regression in numbers there. But he's played very well. He's been very good. We had the usual suspects: Mason Mount, Reece James, Raheem Sterling. Look at that, 12 assists, 12 goals for Raheem Sterling. That's the sort of thing we are looking for from him. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 22 goals in 36 appearances. He had a phenomenal season. But the thing is, he's regressing. Like, he's already gone down 2 ratings. He's 33 years old now, and that's why we did go and sign Tammy Abraham. But he's had a fantastic season. Broja also looked really good as well, really grown into it, particularly towards the second half of the season. A real shame that he did get his injury. Because, you know, he was really kind of coming into it. With regards to these guys leaving, Azpilicueta, Bettinelli, Brooking, all of these guys will be leaving once their contracts expire. Lewis Hall, I will be extending his contract, and he will go out on loan next season, hopefully to try and get him some first team football. Elsewhere, we've got a few guys who only have a year remaining on their deal. I'm going to be renewing a few of these, the likes of Mason Mount for one, Charlie Webster, Mateo Kovacic. These guys will definitely have extensions. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Christian Pulisic, those guys are already out. We've got some guys returning from loan as well. Ian Matson, I want him to stay. I want to see if we can kind of filter him into the first team, if not another loan move. Hudson-Odoi as well, we're going to give him an opportunity. The likes of Bakayoko, Rahman, Ampadu, probably going to get rid of. More players coming back on loan. Levi Colwill, can't wait to get him into the side. We're going to try and get him as part of the rotation next season when he does return. So that's going to be really exciting for us. The likes of Vale, Angerin will probably go back out on loan. Malang Sarr, we will look to move on. Elsewhere, Lukaku, Baxter, Sterling, these guys are all going to try and move on as well. If we can try and get Lukaku back to Inter Milan, that would be perfect. I think that would be the most realistic thing that we can do. Naturally, we've already made a couple of signings. Tammy Abraham and Christopher Nkunku will be coming in the summer. We're going to look for a centre-back as well. Alessandro Bastoni is the one I've got my eye on. Also looked at Gvardiol as well, but I would really like to sign Bastoni. We can get him for a much better price as well, as his contract does expire at the end of next season. So with only a year left on his deal, we can get him at a reduced price. So as we come to the end of season review now, let's have a look at this. They say, well, we weren't able to achieve all of our objectives on a placeholder. We believe that the team delivered a satisfactory performance, so we will be going in to season 2, and that is the most important thing, as I do get a rare achievement unlocked for completing a season as a real manager. There you see Christopher Nkunku signing, coming into the club. This is a cutscene that I'm actually yet to see, with all the kind of paparazzi there, the manager welcoming him, ready to greet him. This one is that I've not actually come across yet. Good to have him at the club. Obviously, there was a little bit of controversy regarding his move, that the fact that we swapped Havertz for him, but ultimately Havertz just wasn't playing well enough, and if people wanted Nkunku in, then Havertz had to go. Well, that's an interesting Chelsea kit, isn't it? Look at that. That's a strange new design that they've got going for them. So now they're into the new season. Let's have a quick look at the objectives. They are basically to win everything, which is, you know, a little bit ridiculous, really, a little bit unrealistic, but, you know, we'll try our best. Elsewhere, expand the club in Europe, whatever that means. You know, youth development, very, very tame. So it's very much, I think, for our own expectations, is silverware. Can we win the Premier League now? Can we get a domestic cup? That's what we're looking to do. We want to be able to challenge on all those fronts and win as well. We've had a transfer budget increase as well, up to 128 million. We're hoping that can be propped up by some sales, the likes of Romelu Lukaku, for instance. Hopefully that can kind of boost it a little bit, because, you know, we want to make a couple of moves. With regard to those moves, we've really honed in on the free. We want Alessandro Bastoni at centre-back. We want one of these two, Reggie Cannon or Justin Che, at right wing back as well, to kind of act as that rotational option with Reece James, that backup to Reece James. And we're also contemplating Jude Bellingham. It's a move that I think every team is probably considering in real life, including Chelsea. You know, ultimately, he's the long-term plan in the future. He fits perfectly into that central midfield role. I think he could be absolutely incredible. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, on price as well, I think they'd probably ask for something close to 100 million. I really do. So, you know, probably have to bear that in mind. It's a lot to kind of, you know, consider really. But let's see what we can do with that. We could also offer a player in exchange. Maybe someone like Hakim Ziyech, for instance. Maybe even Romelu Lukaku. So let me know what you guys think. And so, with all that being said, it is time to bring Season 1 to a close. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you're going to join me for Season 2. It's really exciting and I cannot wait to get going with it. Thank you so much if you have made it through until the end. I really do appreciate that one. As I said at the start of the video, check out all the links in the description below. The gaming podcast, my Patreon, Twitter, second channel, all that good stuff. Lots of great stuff going across the kind of channels, really. So do check that out. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to get me in the comments with any suggestions for the series, for transfers, for formations, anything like that. And I will do my best to get back to you. On that note, we are going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next one, I will see you soon.